This is the Off-Grid Knives Rapid Fire, a folder that was donated to us by ThisOldSword Blade Reviews. Our good friend Dave has an amazing collection, and he's quite a fascinating guy. Check out our interview with him a couple of weeks back. But he's also very generous, and he's donated 6 knives at this point to the channel, this being one of them. Thank you, Dave. So you ask, why is it called Rapid Fire? Well, because it comes out like you wouldn't believe. It comes out so strong. And this is an assisted knife. And frankly, I have not been interested in assisted knives in some time. But this has sort of rekindled the interest. The way it comes out, I mean, it comes out like, well, let's just say with great enthusiasm. It snaps out super hard. And well, it just makes this a fun knife. Now, okay, fun knife, but really this is a workhorse style knife. It's got a beautiful recurve blade, which I love. I love recurves. And it's hollow ground, so it's very thin behind the edge and is quite sharp. This is going to be a great, great cutter. It's cryogenically treated D2 steel, and it's coated in this, I think this is titanium nitrate. It looks kind of like the stuff Kershaw puts on their blades. You've got this beautiful milled G10 handle with a sort of elongated honeycomb texture, little hexagons. And it's quite beefy. You've got a nice liner lock in there. And all of this texturing really adds to amazing grip. Okay, this knife feels great in hand, whether you have it in this saber grip like this, or this perfect swale here for your thumb, for Filipino grip. That's what they sometimes call it. I don't know, just thumb on the back of the blade grip. And the flipper tab acts as your guard, so if you're thrusting, you don't come running up onto the blade. This is their Coyote Tan. It comes in black, and it has other colorways. Hate that term, but it has other colorways. And but this is my favorite, so I'm glad Dave sent this one along. Now look at this. Man, they consistently get this right at Off-Grid Knives. It is not only a deep carry loop over pocket clip, but it is snugly nestled into a milled out pocket, and it's got the flat screws that are countersunk so that it doesn't come up and shred your pocket. An interesting feature here, it's got a lanyard hole, and but the lanyard hole comes out underneath the clip here. So it's a nice way to sort of discreetly get your lanyard in there. I do like this spoon style clip. And I do know, though, that if I were to carry this around, which I've been tempted to do, I would be going up against counters and stuff, and I'd be scraping up that clip. Looks like a tiny bit of wear right there, probably from Dave carrying this. This is just a beefy workhorse of a knife. So here you got, what is it, 1, 2, 3.5 inches of D2 steel. You've got that beautiful swedge. I just love this kind of shape in general. It's a leaf shape, but it's sort of uneven. Reminds me of old Walter Brend fixed blade knives, and it's just very appealing to me. You know me, I love the recurve. Some people don't like it because they find it difficult to sharpen, but actually, if you have something like a sharp maker or something that's round or triangular in cross-section, it's very easy to sharpen a recurve. I think it's tricky when you're dealing with a wide, flat stone, and then you might be in trouble there. It's got this really excellently jimped gripping spot for your thumb, and back here, it's got really nice jimping. Excellent in reverse grip. It gives you a nice area to rest your thumb. And then here you have a double finger choil for your front 2 fingers. Ordinarily, I don't care for that kind of design too much. I like a single finger choil, but the double thing, sometimes I find it hits my fingers in the wrong spot. This just so happens to fit me pretty well. but you know, I don't know if it will fit everyone well. But it's not too extreme here. You know, some things really force you, some handles really force you into a position. This one's sort of like a gentle suggestion. Okay, let me show you this with a couple of other knives. Now, the most obvious comparison to me is the awesome Off-Grid Knives Backcountry. This is the Backcountry Blackout. This was a gift from my father after he saw my interview with Kerry over there at Off-Grid Knives. Great guy, designing really cool knives. You can see the similarity. This knife is marketed as an outdoors knife, as I think most of their stuff is, but to me it's like, I don't know, it's a little bit more tactical. It seems like a bit more of a, you know, self-defense-y kind of fighter thing. You've got a similar sort of double finger swale there. This thing really fills the hand nicely. Also D2, and you also have that nice spot right there for your thumb if you like to, if you need to bear down and put your thumb on the back of the blade. Comes super sharp. Now, Off-Grid Knives, they have a couple of tiers of production. This is their more budget-oriented tier, and it's made by, they're made by Best Tech Knives, and if you know Best Tech, they make awesome, awesome knives. And then they have a higher tier of knives that are made by We. This is their Scorpion. This was a gift from Kerry, and I love this knife. This knife is evocative of the SOCOMs to me. This handle reminds me of the SOCOM handles from Microtech. But just a great, great knife. So I think this is an awesome recipe. You know, you come up with some really good designs, and then you have some really good manufacturers make them for you, you know, and you set up different tiers of production. You have perhaps a more affordable company make the more affordable knives, and then a more premium company make the more premium knives. Okay, I guess I'm just talking at this point if I just said that. Love this knife. Thanks, Dad. Okay, so let me show you this with a Kershaw Speed Safe. This is my one remaining assisted knife. It's a Les George design. It's the Kershaw Weston. I really like this knife. I wish that ZT would make a larger premium version of this unassisted. I would be all over it. This is such a beautiful knife. And also a great little work knife. This is hollow ground, 8CR13 MOV, slips through cardboard like it's not there. This was a gift from my brother-in-law. I really like this knife. Kershaw Weston. But let's compare this. You can't really compare it. You can't really tell because you're not holding it in your hand, but maybe we can tell from sound. Okay. This thing kicks like a mule. Probably imperceptible from your perspective, but let's see. All right, just take it from me. This is really strong. The spring in this is really strong, but it's easy to put back one-handed. Sometimes automatics or assisted opening knives can be difficult to get all the way closed with one hand. This one, not so much. Comes out, fires like a rocket, but goes back in pretty easily. The Weston, yes, I've had this a while, and I've used it a lot, and I do know that speed safe knives sometimes kind of lose their zing a little bit, so that could be a factor here. But all I'm making this comparison for is to say that this assisted mechanism is fantastic, outstanding. All right, here it is with the Off-Grid Knives Black Stallion, another Best Tech production, and I love this knife. This is also D2. You've got this beautiful sheep's foot blade that has thin blade stock and then a almost halfway saber grind, so it's very thin and slicey, even though that isn't a very tall bevel there. This is an awesome knife. Also has this pocketing, milled pocketing similar to the rapid fire that really aids in grip, and not for nothing, looks pretty cool too, I think. All right, and then from my collection, Another sort of obvious comparison is a ZT. This is the ZT-0200. And I think this reminds me a little bit more of the 300 series, but I don't have any of those knives. And but it's a similar vibe here. You got the recurve, you've got the drop point recurve with a nice thumb placement there, and just a really nicely contoured handle. Of course, on this old ZT here, when you look at it this way, you also have the palm swells and that sort of Coke bottle shape. Different worlds, same universe, something like that. And then let me just show it off with one other knife. It's a sort of obscure knife, but I love it, and it's a recurve. And that is the M1 by Combative Edge. This is a clip point, a little different blade shape, but that recurve really is emblematic of this design as it is this. So check it out. Go over to Off Grid Knives and check out all of their stuff. They just make some really beautiful designs, very useful, robust designs, and classy designs. I really like this Scorpion. So this is the Off Grid Knives Rapid Fire Coyote. That's Coyote. Enjoy it and look for it to be, I don't know what we're going to do with it yet. It'll either be a giveaway or an auction. I think it will be an auction sort of thing. I think I want the proceeds of the sale of this to go to, and maybe a couple other knives, to go to Ken Vehikite of BlackRock Knives. He's a guy who was on this show. I have one of his custom knives. They are amazing, and he's fallen on some health issues and could use a little help on a Kickstarter. So we'll probably send some funds that way. So thank you, Dave. This Old Sword Blade Reviews. Check him out. Thanks for the donation of this beautiful knife to the channel. I love it, and while it's in my hands, I will take good care of it and only fondle it and open it. Don't worry, future owner, I'm not going to carry it, and I'm not going to drop it on its tip as I am wont to do. All right, everybody, thanks for watching.